Have you ever wondered why someone who once took you for granted suddenly craves your presence the moment you step away? It's as if your absence flips a switch, making them realize your value in ways they never acknowledged before. They come back, not because of who you were in the past, but because of who you've become in their absence. Why does this happen? What changes in the dynamic of your relationship when you give them space? Today we'll uncover 7 profound reasons rooted in human nature and Stoic wisdom that explain why they return. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding the deeper truths of human connection and your own personal growth. Each reason offers a unique perspective, showing how stepping back can lead to surprising outcomes. But stay with me until the end, because the final reason, perhaps the most primal of all, might just reshape how you view relationships entirely. Ready to dive in? Let's begin. 1. The realization of what they've lost. Absence has a strange power. It acts as a mirror reflecting not just what is, but what was and what could have been. When you step away from someone who once held you in their orbit, a quiet yet powerful realization often begins to take shape within them. They start to see what they've lost. So while you were present, they may have taken your kindness, support, or energy for granted. It's human nature to overlook what's readily available, isn't it? How often do we fail to cherish the sunlight until a cloudy day dims its warmth? In the same way, your presence might have blended into their daily life, becoming a given rather than a gift. But then suddenly you're no longer there. Your texts stop lighting up their phone. Your familiar voice becomes a distant memory. The steady presence they once relied upon has vanished, leaving behind an emptiness they can't ignore. And in that silence, they start to reflect. They remember the little things, your laughter, the way you listened without judgment, the quiet strength you brought to their life. Why do we so often need to lose something to truly appreciate its value? It's a question that has puzzled philosophers for centuries. Even in Stoicism, there's a recognition of this paradox. As Marcus Aurelius once reflected, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly. Absence forces people to confront life without your presence, jolting them into an awareness of what they let slip away. This realization isn't immediate. At first, they might brush it off, thinking they're fine without you. But as time passes, your absence becomes a weight. The life they once knew feels a little colder, a little emptier. They might try to fill the void with distractions or other connections, but nothing quite measures up. And why would it? Each person is unique, and the specific role you played in their life is irreplaceable. Now they're left to grapple with the consequences of their indifference. They start to replay memories in their mind. Times you were there when no one else was, the ways you uplifted them when they were down. To the emotional security you provided, which once felt so ordinary, now looms large in its absence. And here's the profound truth. It's often only through this loss that they can truly grasp your value. Without your presence to anchor them, they must confront the reality of their choices. They're reminded that the connections we cherish require attention and care, not complacency. But you've grown stronger in your absence. You've taken that time to reflect, to work on yourself, and to build a life that doesn't depend on their recognition of your worth. And you've chosen to step back, not to punish them, but to protect your peace and prioritize your own growth. As they sit with the weight of what they've lost, their desire to reconnect grows stronger. The question is, will you let them back in, or will you continue on your path of self-discovery, leaving them to ponder their loss? Stay tuned as we explore how your personal evolution can spark even more profound shifts in their perspective. Up next, why your unexpected growth leaves them stunned and craving your presence even more. 2. The shock of unexpected growth. Imagine this. They once saw you as someone predictable, someone who fit neatly into a mold they had crafted in their mind. You were always there, always the same. They thought they knew everything about you, your strengths, your weaknesses, your patterns. And then you step back. Not only did you create distance, but you used that space to grow, evolve, and transform. And when they catch a glimpse of the new you, whether through social media, a chance encounter, or shared friends, it hits them like a bolt of lightning. You're no longer the person they thought they knew. You've grown in ways they never expected, and this shock forces them to confront their assumptions. Growth, after all, is one of the most powerful and undeniable forces in life. As Heraclitus said, the only constant in life is change. But here's the thing, not everyone is ready for it, especially when it comes from someone they've taken for granted. When you emerge from your period of self-reflection and growth, you shatter their perception of you, and this sudden shift leaves them in awe and a little off balance. Why does this shock matter so much? It's simple. People are drawn to what they can't easily understand. They're fascinated by transformation. When you were predictable, they felt secure, perhaps even complacent. But now they see someone who's leveled up, someone more confident, more self-assured, and more magnetic. Think about it. Have you ever seen an old friend after a long time apart and barely recognized them? Not just because they've changed their appearance, but because they carry themselves differently. Maybe they've developed a new sense of purpose or found an inner peace that radiates outward. It's captivating, isn't it? That's the effect your unexpected growth has on them. During your time apart, you've likely embraced challenges, cultivated new habits, and perhaps even rediscovered parts of yourself that have been overshadowed. Maybe you've started a new career path, developed a skill, or prioritized your physical and mental health. Whatever it is, this growth is not superficial. It's rooted in a deeper understanding of yourself and a commitment to becoming the best version of who you are. This kind of transformation can't be ignored. It speaks volumes without you having to say a word. They see it in the way you carry yourself, in the confidence that now defines your interactions, and in the choices you make. Suddenly, you're not just the person who stepped away. You're someone who has grown beyond their expectations. This shock of unexpected growth forces them to reevaluate everything. If they once underestimated your potential, they now see that you're capable of far more than they ever imagined. And with that realization comes a sense of regret. How could they have overlooked someone with such strength and resilience? But more importantly, this transformation makes them wonder, what else have they missed? What other layers of you are waiting to be discovered? This curiosity becomes a powerful motivator, drawing them back into your orbit with a renewed sense of admiration and intrigue. Growth, however, isn't something you pursued for their sake. You didn't change to win their approval or to make them miss you. Your journey was, and continues to be, about you. It's about stepping into your own power and embracing the life you deserve. As they grapple with the shock of your growth, they're left with a choice: to rise to meet the new standard you've set, or to watch as you continue to flourish without them. Either way, your evolution speaks for itself. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on your own journey. What steps have you taken to grow and transform? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you've embraced change and what you've learned along the way. And if you're finding value in these insights, don't forget to like this video. Let's spread the wisdom of Stoicism and growth together. Up next, we'll dive into the magnetic pull of self-sufficiency and why independence can make you irresistible. Stay tuned. 3. The magnetic pull of self-sufficiency. Independence is a rare and beautiful quality. When you step back and focus on building a life that doesn't rely on the approval or presence of others, you create a powerful force. Self-sufficiency. It's not just about being alone. It's about thriving in your own company, finding fulfillment in your own growth, and relying on yourself for validation. This kind of independence sends a clear message to those around you. I don't need you, but I choose to be here. Now imagine how this shift looks to someone who once saw you as dependent on their attention or approval. When you were always available, they might have assumed you needed them to feel whole. But as you step into your self-sufficiency, they begin to see a new side of you, someone who is confident, content, and in control of their own happiness. Why is this so magnetic? Because people are naturally drawn to those who radiate self-assurance. Think about it. When was the last time you were captivated by someone who seemed completely at peace with themselves? Their energy is infectious, isn't it? They don't chase after validation or seek constant reassurance because they've found everything they need within. In the context of Stoicism, this aligns perfectly with the idea of focusing on what's within your control. As Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. By becoming self-sufficient, you embody this principle, breaking free from the chains of dependency and embracing the freedom that comes with self-reliance. This newfound independence doesn't go unnoticed. The person who once took your presence for granted starts to see you differently. They realize that you're no longer the same person who needed their constant validation. Instead, you've become someone who values your own time, energy, and peace of mind. And this shift in power dynamics is both intriguing and intimidating. Self-sufficiency also brings a sense of mystery. When you're content in your own company, you don't feel the need to overshare or seek attention. This leaves them wondering, what are they thinking? What are they up to? The more they ponder, the more their curiosity grows. But here's the beauty of self-sufficiency. It's not about playing games or creating artificial distance. It's about genuinely living your best life on your own terms. When you embrace your independence, you stop waiting for others to provide happiness. Instead, you fill your days with activities, goals, and pursuits that bring you joy and fulfillment. Perhaps you've started a new hobby, taken up a fitness routine, or dived into personal development. Whatever it is, you're doing it for yourself, and that energy is infectious. When they see you thriving without them, it sparks a mix of admiration and regret. They begin to crave the person you've become, the one who doesn't need them but whose presence they now deeply desire. This pull of self-sufficiency also challenges them to reflect on their own lives. Are they as independent as they thought? Do they have the same level of self-assurance? Seeing you flourish might even inspire them to work on themselves, further deepening their admiration for you. But remember, this journey of self-sufficiency isn't about them. It's about you. By focusing on your growth and embracing your independence, you've not only become more attractive to others, but also more fulfilled within yourself. As you continue on this path, you'll find that your sense of peace and contentment grows stronger. And in turn, you'll attract people who respect and value your independence rather than trying to diminish it. In the next section, we'll explore a deeper, more primal reason why they find themselves drawn back to you: the fear of losing you to someone else. This is where things get truly fascinating. Stay with me. 4. The fear of losing you to someone else. Few things shake a person more profoundly than the fear of losing someone they once took for granted, and not just losing them to time or distance, but to someone else. When they see your growth, confidence, and independence shining brightly, a thought begins to creep into their mind. What if someone else notices? What if someone else values what I fail to appreciate? This fear isn't just about jealousy, it's about a primal, deeply rooted sense of loss. They begin to picture you sharing your life with someone new, someone who sees your worth from the very start. And that image stings in ways they never expected. Why? Because humans are inherently competitive when it comes to matters of the heart. The idea of another person stepping into their place, experiencing the new, improved version of you, is a wake-up call they can't ignore. Think about it. When was the last time you realized how much you wanted something only after seeing someone else with it? This phenomenon isn't unique to relationships. It's a fundamental part of human nature. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once observed, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. In relationships, people often fail to dare, failing to fully appreciate what they have until they risk losing it. The fear of being replaced forces them to reflect on their own choices and shortcomings. Suddenly, the moments they dismissed or undervalued take on new significance. They remember the way you supported them, the joy you brought into their life, and the steady presence you offered. Now the thought of you sharing those same qualities with someone else feels unbearable. But here's the twist. This fear also highlights a deep-seated respect for your growth. They're not just afraid of losing the old you, they're afraid of losing the new, empowered version of you. The version that commands attention, respect, and admiration wherever you go. This realization creates a sense of urgency. They begin to feel a pull, a need to act before someone else steps in and takes what they once had. Yet this isn't about rushing back to you out of panic. If they truly value what they've lost, they'll approach with a renewed sense of purpose. They'll understand that winning back your trust and presence requires effort and authenticity. And you'll be in a position of strength, able to choose whether to let them back into your life on your terms. This fear of losing you also serves as a powerful motivator for them to improve themselves. They start to think about how they can match your level of growth and self-sufficiency. If they're serious about rekindling the connection, they'll realize that it's not enough to want you back. They need to become someone worthy of your time and attention. But here's an important question for you. How does this fear affect your own journey? Are you willing to let their newfound urgency influence your path? Or will you continue focusing on your growth regardless of their actions? Remember, Stoicism teaches us to remain rooted in our values and to act with intention rather than reaction. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced someone coming back into your life out of fear of losing you to someone else? And how did you handle it? Let's discuss. And if you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps spread the wisdom and encourages others to embrace their own growth journey. Next, we'll explore how your newfound confidence can stir up envy in ways that leave them craving your presence even more. Stay tuned. 5. The envy of your newfound confidence. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a person can possess. It signals self-assurance, resilience, and a deep understanding of one's own worth. When you step into your confidence, you stop seeking external validation. And this shift doesn't just go unnoticed, it commands attention. For someone who once took you for granted, seeing this transformation can spark an unexpected reaction. Envy. But this envy isn't rooted in negativity. It's a kind of admiration mixed with a longing to possess the same strength they now see in you. They find themselves thinking, how did I not notice this before? The confidence you've cultivated radiates outward, making you appear more grounded, more secure, and ultimately more attractive. It challenges their own sense of self-worth and forces them to confront their insecurities. Why does confidence evoke such a powerful response? Because it's rare. In a world where so many people struggle with self-doubt, those who exude confidence stand out. They move through life with a sense of clarity and purpose, unaffected by the opinions of others. When you embody this, you become a beacon of strength and stability. Let's pause for a moment and consider a key principle of Stoicism, the idea that true power comes from within. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Confidence is the outward expression of this inner power. It's not about arrogance or superiority. It's about trusting yourself and your ability to navigate life's challenges. Now imagine how this looks to someone who once underestimated you. When they encounter the new confident version of you, it shakes their perception. So they expected you to remain the same, but instead, you've evolved into someone who commands respect and admiration. This shift in dynamic leaves them feeling unsteady. Confidence also has a way of making people reevaluate their own lives. When they see you thriving, they can't help but compare themselves to you. Are they as confident? Do they carry themselves with the same level of assurance? These questions create a sense of envy, not because they wish to tear you down, but because they aspire to rise to your level. Since envy serves as a catalyst, drawing them back to you with a renewed sense of curiosity and desire. They want to understand how you've achieved this transformation. More importantly, they want to be around someone who exudes the kind of energy they find both inspiring and intimidating. But here's the catch. Confidence can't be faked, and it certainly can't be rushed. It's something you've cultivated through your journey of growth, self-reflection, and perseverance. They might envy your confidence, but they'll also recognize that it's a result of the work you've put into yourself. This realization makes them see you in a completely different light. You're no longer the person they could easily predict or control. Instead, you've become someone who sets the tone for your own life. Someone who doesn't shy away from taking up space and embracing their true potential. And that, my friend, is an incredibly powerful position to be in. If you've ever noticed someone responding differently to your newfound confidence, take a moment to reflect on how that made you feel. Did it reinforce your growth? Did it make you more aware of your own power? Next, we'll explore the irresistible allure of your new journey and why they're suddenly so eager to be part of your evolving life. Let's keep going. 6. The desire to be part of your new journey. Growth is a journey, not a destination. When you've taken time to reflect, evolve, and step into a new chapter of your life, it becomes visible to those around you. They see the changes, not just in what you do, but in how you carry yourself. Your life begins to resemble an unfolding story, one filled with promise and excitement. And for someone who once had a front row seat, the thought of being left behind can be deeply unsettling. Why do they suddenly want to rejoin your journey? It's simple. People are drawn to progress. When you're thriving, your energy is contagious. You've become someone who inspires others, not by telling them what to do, but by showing what's possible through your own actions. Your new pursuits, whether personal or professional, create a sense of purpose and fulfillment that's impossible to ignore. Think about it. Have you ever watched someone you know completely transform their life? Maybe they started a business, took up a new hobby, or embraced a healthier lifestyle. Their journey doesn't just change them, it changes the way you see them. You begin to admire their drive, their commitment, and their ability to push through challenges. And if you're honest with yourself, you might feel a bit of FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is exactly what happens when they see your new journey. The routines and habits they once associated with you are gone, replaced by a fresh, dynamic approach to life. They might see you engaging with new communities, pursuing goals with passion, or simply radiating a sense of peace and contentment. And suddenly they're no longer sure where they fit into your world. This uncertainty sparks a desire to reconnect, not with who you were, but with who you've become. They want to understand this new version of you, to be part of the exciting path you're carving out for yourself. But here's the key. They know they can't just step back in as if nothing has changed. To join you on this journey, they must prove that they've grown too. Stoicism, we often talk about the importance of focusing on our own path rather than being distracted by external forces. As Seneca wisely put it, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Your journey of growth naturally filters out those who aren't ready to evolve, leaving space for connections that truly align with your values. For them, the desire to be part of your new journey is a reflection of their recognition that you're moving forward, and they don't want to be left behind. But their return isn't guaranteed. They'll need to show that they respect the work you've done and are willing to grow alongside you. At the same time, this is a moment of empowerment for you. You've built a life that excites and fulfills you, and you're under no obligation to let anyone back in, unless it truly serves your journey. Your focus remains on your growth, your goals, and your vision for the future. So take a moment to reflect. What new paths are you exploring? How has your growth changed the way others perceive you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about the journeys you've embarked on and the insights you've gained along the way. In the final part of this exploration, we'll uncover the most primal reason of all, the fear of losing you to someone else. This is where everything we've discussed culminates in a powerful, transformative realization. Stay with me. 7. The fear of losing you to someone else. Fear is a powerful motivator, especially when it comes to relationships. For someone who once took you for granted, the fear of losing you to someone else can be both a wake-up call and a source of deep regret. They might have assumed you'd always be there, but now, seeing your transformation, they realize that your value hasn't just increased in their eyes, it's evident to everyone who crosses your path. This fear isn't just about jealousy. It's a recognition of your worth and the understanding that others will undoubtedly notice what they once overlooked. They start to picture scenarios where someone new steps into your life, offering you the appreciation and respect that they failed to provide. And that thought? It's almost unbearable. Why does this fear hit so hard? Because it forces them to confront a reality they've been avoiding. That you are not an infinite resource. Your time, attention, and affection are precious, and if they don't step up, someone else will. This primal reaction taps into our basic human need for connection and the anxiety of being replaced. But let's take a step back and reflect on this from a Stoic perspective. As Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This fear of losing you is their reaction to the changes you've made in your life. It's a recognition of the consequences of their past actions or inactions and an acknowledgement of the opportunities they've let slip away. Now they find themselves at a crossroads. They can either act on this fear, striving to rekindle action and prove their worth, or they can remain passive and risk losing you for good. But here's the important part. Their actions are not within your control. Your focus remains on your own growth, your own journey. Whether they return or not, you've already won because you've chosen yourself. Let's think about the dynamics at play here. When they imagine someone else stepping into your life, they're not just mourning the loss of your presence. They're also grappling with their own inadequacies. They realize that if they want to be in your life, they can't just coast on past dynamics. They have to bring something new to the table, something that matches the person you've become. This fear can manifest in many ways. They might reach out more frequently, showing a sudden interest in your life and activities. They might try to remind you of shared memories or express regret for how things played out. Whatever their approach, it's driven by a deep-seated need to reclaim a space in your world before it's too late. But here's the question. Are you open to letting them back in? Or has your journey led you to a place where their presence no longer serves your growth? Stoicism teaches us to act with intention, not out of fear or obligation. You have the power to decide what's best for your life, regardless of their fears or desires. As they grapple with this fear, they're forced to confront their own growth, or lack thereof. The thought of losing you to someone who fully appreciates your value might be the catalyst they need to start working on themselves. And that's a powerful outcome, whether or not your paths cross again. If you've ever experienced someone coming back into your life because of this fear, share your story in the comments. How did it feel to see them realize what they had taken for granted? And what did you learn from the experience? Let's discuss. Each of these 7 reasons sheds light on the complexities of human connection and the transformative power of distance. By stepping back, you've not only allowed them to see your value, you've also created space for your own growth and self-discovery. If this journey resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who might need these insights. And don't forget to subscribe for more discussions on relationships, personal growth, and Stoicism. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. Keep growing, keep thriving, and remember, your value is infinite, and your journey is just beginning. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.